Hello, YouTube. I had attempted to go live with this, but it looks like internet connection is bad in this area. So I wasn't able to go live, so I'm going to do a quick recording here. But I want to let you know I'm going to be doing a cooking experiment today. Um, I bought some cheap ribs here from Walmart. Yeah, $6.37. It was on sale. Pork ribs, which is a whole rack. So I'm getting ready to prepare it here, and I'm going to attempt to cook it using, I think I might try to cook half of it using solar, and the other half I'm going to cook right away using heat, using a butane stove to cook it, so I'll have some that I can eat right away. And then we'll have the other half cooking on solar. And what the plan is to try to use pure solar to cook the other half. And I'll be talking about that here in a minute. But for now, I just wanted to show you how I don't have the rice cooker kitchen thingy fully set up, but as you can see, I have the rice cooker cooking in little blue. I'm going to shut the engine off here. Using the normal way that I normally cook, which is while driving, using the inverter cooking system. And you can see here, it still says 13.2 volts is in the system because the car was charging while I was driving. And now it's running off solar. I've been running both at the same time, and it looks like it's not frying the solar system. So I still have 13.1 volts. The rice cooker is still on. The rice is finished. It cooked while driving here. So what I'm going to do at this point is turn it off, because it's on warm mode and it doesn't need to be. It just sit there and the rice is starting to cool down slowly right now. So I'm letting the rice cool down and getting ready to set up the back area here for cooking. I think I might try cooking it in this stove here, the one that I have in a little blue, instead, or maybe I'll put the one inside the RV. Maybe we'll do the RV that way. Yeah, I think we'll do it outside. It'll be a lot. Ow! watch your head. Anyhow, I think I'm going to cook it out here. I'm not going to use the power from the minivan because I can already look and see it's not going to be enough. I have 200 amp hours here and then another 100 roughly under the hood, so 300 total. I don't think that's enough because you can only theoretically use like 150, and I only have a 250 watt solar panel. The stove here, the oven, would require at least like 1800 watts, if not more, probably 1800 watts. So it's going to need a lot of energy, and I really don't think this is going to be successful, but we're going to try it anyways. But when I'm going to do it in little blue, and what I'm going to do is use the RV system, because the RV has about 1,000 watts of power, although not all 1,000 is accessible the way it's wired right now. Been looking at rewiring it to try to get maximum use of the 1,000 watts. So right now I'm probably getting like 500 to 600, 700 watts at the most. But anyhow, I have like a huge battery bank in here in the storage area. I think I have about 500 or 600 amp hours total. 500 amp hours, 600 amp hours. So with the larger solar array on top there and more battery power, I think I have a better chance of success. So I'm going to be cooking the ribs inside the RV using a what do they call those things? The little portable toaster ovens. The RV is a mess. I am going to be spending today here trying to basically clean it up and get it ready to live in. But you can see here I have a mess. It is just a mess. I'm in the middle of working, cleaning. We've got like a non-livable RV. Because I was working on stuff, I'm painting, I'm doing a lot of projects. You can see it is a disaster, which is why I've kind of set aside today to try to get this all organized. So maybe the next video you're going to see me, it should be livable here. But all this stuff got moved because I was painting and working on the bathroom. It is kind of a mess. I'll just show it to you here a little bit so you can see what's been done. I've started to kind of paint the roof a little bit, to organize a little bit, make it more usable. You can see I've been showering, I've been kind of living in it. In the back area, I've been going through old computer stuff because I'm working on some projects which I'll share with you later. So it's a mess, and I know I'm going to get some flack on that, but you know, this is what it's like having to live in it while you're working on it. So I'll be going through all this crap, trying to get more trash, you know, out of here, because the RVs can only carry what it can carry. But anyhow, I wanted to point out that I have a 2,000 watt inverter there that should be enough to power this toaster oven that I have in here. So what I will do is clean this up a little bit, try to make it livable, let the sun charge up my battery bank. Right now it says 13.6 is how much power is coming in. Battery's got approximately 13.2. It's fully charged right now from not being used this morning. So what I will do is try to cook half of the ribs using this toaster oven. And I think to save power and not run 1,800 watts through the whole system, I'm going to directly connect this cable here to the inverter, the 2,000 watt inverter, and run it right off the inverter. So the power only have to go from the battery, which is underneath, up to the inverter, up to the toaster oven. So stay tuned for that. It should be pretty exciting. Meanwhile, the rice is already cooked in the van outside. Now, what I'm going to do is that small battery bank, I am going to plug it in to the system here. That way I can play games or whatnot and have the big fan running to cool me down. So I'm going to be doing that, and I might even try to run the little fans out here just to get some air circulating and stuff. I don't know if there's going to be enough power, but we're going to try it. We're going to see if the RV has enough power to run the toaster oven enough to cook some ribs. The rice has already been cooked in little blue. Okay. Now, if I was really doing this, and, you know, depending on the experiment and stuff, level of the success, what I would actually probably do is cook the rice using solar, because we can cook the rice using a 300 watt. This is like a 300 watt rice cooker here. So, you know, this is like 1,800 watts. So it's like 6 times more. No, wait. 300. Yeah, 6 times more. 6 times more power to use to run a toaster oven. I would use the rice cooker to cook the rice and maybe some small ribs like I did in the van when I was living in the van full time. But you could only cook like 2 or 3 pieces of ribs, you know, maybe 4 at the most, while driving and stuff. But I'm trying to do it off grid, like without the engine running and stuff, just off solar and the battery bank. But what I would do if I was really doing this, I would use this to cook the ribs. I would basically cut the ribs up into riblets, you know, sticks of ribs. Like, what would you call it? It's one rib. I'd cut singular ribs, put it in a frying pan, and kind of bake it in the frying pan using a butane cooker. The reason for that is butane's a lot more efficient, I think, for cooking than electricity that you have to self-generate. Because generating electricity is an expensive proposition. Running the butane, you can just switch the, ignite the thingy. Here, I'll show you how this works. You push this down, turn the knob, and voila, you got heat. You know, instant heat, which I'm going to shut off now. But I use it in these little canisters here, and I replace the canisters as needed. One canister is enough to last me, if I was using it full time to make like 1 or 2 meals a day, it'll probably last about a week, maybe a little bit under a week, 4 to 5 days. So, the reason I use the butane system instead of the built-in liquid propane gas LPG system, which does work, by the way, in this RV, it's just because I haven't filled up the LPG gas, and also I prefer to use the butane. It's just a lot easier, and I know what's going on instead of potential leaks and whatnot. But I do want to try to get the LPG system filled up because I did test it before, and it was very good at cooling down the refrigerator. So my next step is to learn where to get the LPG filled, you know, the tank that's outside filled, and then and how much it's going to cost. And then how long it would last to run the refrigerator freezer off the LPG gas. That's all I would want to run is the refrigerator freezer off LPG gas versus 120 volts. Running it off 120 volts, I was able to do it off the battery bank, but it would drain the batteries. It was all I could do was really run the refrigerator freezer, but then I couldn't really do anything else. And then at night, you have a problem. So, running the refrigerator freezer, I think it's going to be more efficient if you have a system like mine with only like 500 amp hours and only 250 usable. Would be better to run the refrigerator off the propane and 12 volts and propane versus running it off 120 volts. So stay tuned for that. It should be very exciting. Next video you see, hopefully I'll be cooking. So look forward to that video.